Good evening, and thank you for joining us at the top of the hour on Empire One News. With us today, Gus Swanson, author of the bestseller Underneath the Mask. Now, this book talks about the superhero. Good afternoon, Mr. Swanson. Thank you for having me. Let me just say something about the title. The mask itself that a superhero might use to conceal his identity. Some people feel frightened by the mask because that's something a criminal might wear to hide his identity, but it's more than hiding an identity. It's hiding an entire life, concealing and protecting, but also putting in great risk those who are closest to him or her. That mask, whatever sort of characterization they put into this persona they've taken up, that's the superhero, and that should be separate from who's ever underneath the mask. It is raceless, no color, no specific religion, just that face. Now, in this book, you also sort of describe the increase of superheroes in our world today, and I want you to go into a little bit more detail about that. Okay, there's two types of superheroes in the world today: mutants and mutates. And there is a very distinct difference that is very hard to see. Now, mutants, that whole topic encompasses organic life in a much larger way than we can discuss here. So I won't go into that. I'll only say, obviously, they are born with these extraordinary abilities. Now, mutates have been on the rise, and this is directly because of our technological advancements. And with these technological advancements, there are little accidents. They have to be under the right conditions and exposed to the correct outside stimuli that gives them these extraordinary powers. So as you can imagine, these mutates are very lucky to survive a sort of a biological change such as this. And another fact that I firmly believe is that most mutates are on purpose. They were exposed to the correct mutagenic compounds and outside stimuli on purpose. They are mutations done on purpose, on willing or unwilling test subjects. So essentially, you're claiming that mutates are a byproduct of our society. Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. And I always hear on certain news stations and on certain in certain newspapers, I won't say who, but they say, damn Spider-Man, damn Daredevil, they're taking the role of the police force and the military. Who are they to take the law into their own hands? Well, we created them. I mean, anyone can just look at the body count overseas and go, we need stronger soldiers. We need soldiers who can deflect bullets off their bare skin and lift tanks into the air and jump 50 feet in a single bound. Our tax money and the money of major corporations that are trying to gain military contracts are funding the experiments that are changing humans into mutates as lab rats, as experiments, an opportunity to make a profit. It's sickening. Gus, I gotta say, that's a very interesting perspective. If you'd like to stick around, I have someone with us who can sort of make a counter argument to what you're saying. He's part of a special interest group that is pushing a bill into Congress. This bill will try to create a sort of superhuman task force or police force, something to try to combat this superhero criminal force that we've been seeing rising in the last couple of years. Here with us, Marvin Kane. Hello, Marvin? Marvin?
Hi. Thank you for having me on your show. Really appreciate being here. Hello, Gus. I guess I'm here to actually tell you what this bill is trying to accomplish. It's not as expensive as you might think at first, because regular people need much more to arm themselves. Superheroes do not. We're not paying for any guns because some of them can shoot lasers from their eyes. We're not paying for any uniforms because they can make their own. We're only giving them an alternative source of income. They can live happily, and we can sleep better at night knowing that there is a super police force watching over us. I don't see what the problem is. Tell me something. What if they don't register with this program? Then what? How do you tell if someone's a mutate or mutant? Or just a regular person? How do you go by finding them? Do you just arrest all the superheroes right now? Unfortunately, we're going to have to take some sort of force for those who aren't willing to comply.
That is just reality. This bill is not meant to be perfect. It's just the best thing out of a bad situation. And if they were given the chance to be paid to fight crime, then maybe they won't go to the alternative route and commit crime to make money. Not only will superheroes who are already good at heart have a nicer life, but this will stop super criminals. This may be a huge surprise to you, but not every supervillain out there wants just money. Sometimes they just want revenge for the bad thing that happened to them. And that bad thing that happened to them happens to almost every single superhero out there. And they have to make a choice on whether to go down the good or bad path. I know this sounds generic and cliched, but it's not always money. It's something within that they have to discover for themselves. And this program diminishes that. It won't stop supervillains. What creates supervillains is stuff like this. I have this feeling that nothing good will come out of this bill. And if you reveal who these superheroes are, you're opening a Pandora's box of secrets that we are not supposed to know. Okay, unfortunately we are out of time. I wish you luck on your bill, and I wish you luck on this book. Join us next week when our guest Rosie Octavius has a new book called I Married an Octopus. Okay, moving on to the business portion of the show. The two rivaling companies, Oscorp and Astrotech, have now reached a new deal in which Astrotech will become a subsidiary of Oscorp, something Astrotech has always feared, but is now meaning a new chance for peace in the city.